Hi, I'm Avram Nadigal. I'm an author and relationship therapist in Toronto, Canada. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use Notability for the iPad to create family diagrams, also known as genograms. To do this, I'm going to use data I found online about Justin Trudeau, who is currently the Prime Minister of Canada. So what exactly is a genogram? A genogram provides a multi-generational map of your family. It shows your family's strengths and challenges and highlights trends that might cause you problems in your relationships. Now, in the past, I've used pen and paper and whiteboards and markers to create genograms. However, as you can see here, the end result is often a mess. There are very few genogram programs on the market. The most popular is GenoPro. However, their software only runs on Windows machines, and they've been promising a new version compatible for Windows and Mac for years and years. If you peruse their forums, customers are less than thrilled with their lack of updates. At this time, I would not recommend this software to clinicians. For the past 2 years, I've been using iGenogram on the iPad. Now, this software produces lovely looking diagrams, but it is very slow and somewhat cumbersome to use when working with a client in session. What I needed was the freedom to create genograms on the fly, like with a pen and paper, but with the flexibility and unlimited editing of software. In my practice, I've tried all of the popular note-taking apps, like NoteShelf and GoodNotes, but I keep coming back to Notability, and with their latest version, I think I found a permanent solution. So as I previously mentioned, I'm going to build a 2-generation genogram of Justin Trudeau's family using the latest version of Notability. To start, I always begin by pressing the audio record button before gathering information on a family. These audio recordings are linked to whatever you draw on a page. Now, as a therapist, this feature is critical. It allows me to only write down the most essential details of a client's story, let's say their depression. But the audio captures all of the details about their history, therapies, and medications. That way, after my client leaves my office, I only need to touch on the word depression, and the audio from that point of the session will begin to play.
This is white. And how about this one?
Then I choose some graph paper to provide borders and lines for the family tree portion of the genogram. Next, I need to create a couple of shapes to represent males and females. To that end, I'm going to draw a square for males. What's really cool about Notability is that even if you draw a rough-looking shape, when you hold down the pencil, presto, it makes a perfect square. Now, let's draw a circle for females, and again, if you hold down your pencil, a lovely circle. Instead of drawing and redrawing circles and squares, I simply use the scissor tool. I select the drawn shapes and duplicate, and then I duplicate again. Now I'm ready to construct Justin Trudeau's genogram. Okay, first we have Justin. He was born in 1971. His middle brother is Sasha. He was born in 1973. And then his youngest brother is Michel. He was born in 1975, but died in an avalanche in 1998. The X in the shape indicates a death. Justin's father was Pierre Trudeau, a well-known former Prime Minister of Canada. He was born in 1919 and died in 2000, 2 years after his son was tragically killed. I read somewhere that Justin believed his father died from grief. Justin's mother's name is Margaret. She was born in 1948 and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So what we have here is a 2-generational family tree. And now we add the emotional connections between people in a family, which turns this diagram into a genogram. Okay. Justin's parents had a conflictual relationship and divorced in 1977, 2 years after Michel was born. Conflict is depicted by a squiggly line, and divorce is 2 slanted dashed lines. After the divorce, all the kids moved in with their father, and that's a rare move, both then and now. Based on this and other information, I believe that Justin was cut off emotionally from his mother. We draw a cutoff in relationships like this. Justin was very close with his father, and we represent this by drawing two solid lines. I read in a Maclean's magazine article that Justin felt guilty about not being close with Michelle. So I took that to mean there was some distance in the relationship, and that's drawn with a dotted line. Ah, but we have a problem. Because Sasha's icon is in the way, if this was a paper and pen, we'd be stuck with a mess trying to connect Justin and Michelle. But with Notability, I simply grab the stem and icon of Sasha, and I move it down a bit. And now I can draw the dotted line of distance. I prefer to use a different color for emotional symbols, so I'm going to select each one and turn them from black to red. For therapists watching this video, I will usually highlight all the triangles for a family, which often opens up discussions about how triangles impact relationships, both in the past and present. With Notability, I can easily erase the triangle with one quick touch of any of the highlighter lines. I then change the graph paper back to blank, which I think makes reading the genogram a bit easier. Once the genogram is complete, I export a PDF version from Notability to my mail program and send it to my clients. In turn, they bring any corrections and additions to the next session. With Notability, it's easy to add and edit new information. And that's that. A simple way to create genograms using Notability, while providing the flexibility to add your own details and flair, the only limitations being your imagination. If you have any questions about this video or my clinical practice or books, feel free to send me an email by going to my contact page at www.morethanlove.ca, morethanlove.ca. Thanks for watching.